Hi, I'm odeean and this is my video review for the Chogokin GD-45M metal-plated Mechagodzilla from Bandai. So you can see the box here, it's a really monotone box. This sticker is a silver sticker. Sometimes it looks a little bit gold in pictures, but I assure you it is silver. There are other versions of this toy, so maybe future versions might have a different colour, but the 45M is definitely silver. Okay. Putting the box aside, here we have the figure itself. So, this is definitely not just Chogokin in name, but Chogokin in reality, because what we have here is a really heavy figure with a lot of metal content. The feet sections here, die cast. This lower leg and knee, die cast. The thighs, die cast. The upper body, more plastic portions. In the sides here, we have die cast in the chest piece. Having a closer look at some of that die cast, you can really see the thick nature of the metal in these knee guards. As far as other materials are concerned, in the back we have these kind of more vinyl spines that are removable. The hands here are not hard plastic. These are also a bit squishy, probably vinyl, just so you don't break the fine detailing off. And the final two segments of the tail are also not metal and not hard plastic. These are vinyl also. As far as articulation is concerned, the tail has multiple points. You can see the extent of the side-to-side motion we get here. Not highly movable, but, multiple points. In the up and down, we also get a bit of up and down. On these legs, we get three positions. The neutral position that you see here, one click back at the knee, back to neutral, one click forward at the knee. You can hear what a beautiful clicky sound that is. It's a very strong joint. We have balls at the ankles, which give us a little bit of side-to-side tilt and a little bit of back-to-front tilt, but nothing amazing. We have a ratchet at the hip that gives us one click forward. It may actually even be a square peg or something like that, because it is only one click. In the in and out, you can hear a nice ratchet, a few positions in the in and out as well. So on the shoulder, we have 360 degrees around. We have a swivel at the elbow where the bicep swivel is, and we have about 85 degrees of motion backwards and forwards at the elbow. The hand can rotate 360, and something that's really nice that you don't see on other versions of this Kiryu Mechagodzilla, there is a ball joint at the neck, so that gives us a little bit of rotation of the head, a little tiny bit of side to side, and a bit of backwards and forwards, which is something I really like compared to, say, my DX Mechagodzilla that I have a video of previously. The mouth is articulated, up, open and closed. And if I show you close up of the face, bit of light, bit of focus, you'll see that in the mouth, where is it there? There is the double-barreled maser. I'm not quite sure if you can see that in there, but the double maser is in there, and it's a separate little tiny piece. Also, you can see on the face there that it has white painted teeth from the Kiryu skeleton that's inside, two red stripes on the head from when in the movie Kiryu reasserts his control over the body of Mechagodzilla, and the eyes are painted in a bright and thick yellow paint. Now they could have gone with a see-through plastic for the eyes, and I do like that, but with a figure at this scale, this smaller size, I feel that the strong yellow colour makes the eyes pop out more than if they had gone with the clear plastic. So that's a good decision as far as I'm concerned. So the figure is really impressive. It's heavy to hold, cold to feel, and very, very shiny. I deliberately picked this. There are many versions of this Chogokin. There's just the standard version of this guy, which is a kind of satin or silver painted plastic. This metal one, and then there's later year versions that came afterwards. But as far as I know, none of them are as plated as this guy is, with the shiny, shiny silver and the shiny die-cast pieces. So I deliberately picked this one because that's the effect that I really wanted. On the front here, you'll see that if I open these little sections, and this feels like die-cast too, maybe the two side ones, not so sure about the bottom one. In here we have the absolute zero cannon. I've in subtitles of movies I've seen that referred to as latitude zero or some other things, but as far as I know, I think that's how you say it, absolute zero cannon. But I guess translation's got a lot to do with it. Now the future releases that came after this would probably have the triple maser, because in the next movie he had the triple maser, but this is the weapon that he had in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which is what I really wanted. There's no light detail in there like you get with the DX, but it is nicely detailed. Little lines and what have you on that black coloured piece of plastic. Now, colouring, as far as paint goes, what we've got, the yellow on the eyes that I showed you, the red stripe on the eyes, we have this little red triangle on the shoulder. The only other paint is used on the innards. So the underside of the tail here, where it's got this nice striping kind of detail, is painted black. And on the inside portions under the armour, like on the lower legs here and the groin region up here, it is also painted black. And that's kind of to emulate the rubber covering of the inner body that's underneath the armour, and it looks really good. It comes off well, although it's not, to the feel, it's not rubber textured like you get with the DX. Okay, I've mentioned the DX a couple of times, so I think it would pay to do a size comparison with the DX. So here we've got our Chogokin Mechagodzilla, and here we have this really big 12-inch DX Mechagodzilla with his electronic lights and sounds. And you can see, if I pull back a little bit, he's huge, twice as big. Uh-oh, I'm going to drop my mic. Hold on. Sorry about that. I should not have pulled back like that. Anyway, different figures for different scales, you know. I collected these big guys first because I thought they're harder to get, so I wanted to get them out of the way. But now that I've got all the big ones I want, I'm moving down to the smaller scale. Putting him aside, speaking of the smaller scale, how big is this guy? So with my trusty old ruler here, 7 inches for people who use inches, about 17.5 centimetres is what I would go by. Putting him quite a bit, maybe the S.H.Monsterarts Godzilla might come right to about here, I'm guessing, but Mechagodzilla is meant to be bigger than Godzilla, so I think the scale is going to be really nice when I get my S.H.Monsterarts. He's actually bought and paid for. He should be here in a little while, but maybe a month, because he's in a pile of loot I don't want to ship at the moment. When he comes in, I'm going to do another video to show exactly how these guys fit together, because as far as I know, there aren't any other videos of this on YouTube showing the scale with a S.H.Monsterarts Godzilla. And for my money, this is better than the S.H.Monsterarts Mechagodzilla that they have produced. There's nothing wrong with that figure, but I feel that the Chogokin Millennium version is better than the Heisei period. Okay, what other things does this Godzilla come with? Now the first thing you'll note is that I haven't included 2 of these spines here, And the reason I haven't is because they interfere with the armour, and I just can't be bothered to pop them on and off all the time. But there are 2 more spines that you would pop off at this point when I'm attaching the armour. Here's the first portion of the armour, and it just pegs into the elbow. It's a cannon, and then a little tube, the wire, slots into the back of the elbow. He also has a removable blade, and this is the blade that he used to stab Godzilla in the chest with. Now later in Tokyo SOS, we see huge scarred up injury on Godzilla's chest. I think that's from a combination of being stabbed and from a point-blank explosion of the Absolute Zero cannon. But either way, this is partially to blame for that terrible injury sustained by Godzilla. There's nothing holding these little tubes on except friction, so sometimes they do pop out when you handle them. But that's nice in and of itself. But next, we get this. His booster rockets, and this thing, I don't know, it holds a lot of rockets and missiles and guns and all. It shoots many things in the show, but it is posable. You get maybe 15 degrees up and down once it's on him. So there's 2 little tabs here that slot in behind these boosters, but they form a very pathetic bond, and I would have preferred if there was a pole in that just stuck straight into Mechagodzilla's back, because then it would have been a better connection. As it is, it really doesn't hold on that well, and when you handle it, it can pop off quite easily. It stays on nicely for display, but for playing, not so good. Uh-oh. This also tends to happen quite a bit. The gun pops off the bottom of the weapon. It is only held on by friction in there. Let's just leave that off for now. So he's really nice looking. My final thoughts on this guy: definitely pick this guy up. So it's not that expensive compared to some other older pieces. This is quite old now. The box has 2003 written on it, but it is also quite heavy. So the price that I paid shipped to my house, about $150, which, considering the weight came from Japan, it doesn't seem too high to me. I mean, it's pretty close to what I paid for the huge DX, and you know, that's a much, much bigger figure. It seems to be hard to get this plated version, so if you can find one, just jump on it, because it is truly awesome. I mean, this shininess, I love the shine. I guess some people might feel it's not as realistic, but you know, sometimes something can look good and not be realistic at the same time. I had the just satin finish on the DX. I wanted to go all the way with this shiny looking version. Go out and grab it. So this has been my video review for the for the GD-45M metal plated version of Mechagodzilla. I'm Odeean. Thanks for watching.